Hey guys, what's going on today? Bojo here, and welcome to our NHL 15 GM mode voting video. As you know, NHL 15 is just around the corner, and I just recently finished up the Columbus Blue Jackets GMO, which was a lot of fun. That and the Dallas Stars GMO that I did in NHL 14 were a lot of fun to do. But now it's time to get the ball rolling once again and start our voting for the next GM mode team for NHL 15. So I have 7 teams from which you guys can choose from today. It's going to be the same method of choosing the winner like we did last year. I picked 3 teams from the Western Conference, 3 teams from the Eastern Conference, and then I also picked 1 bubble team from each conference and then put it to a Twitter vote for you guys to decide the 7th and final bubble team, if you will. So I'll just run through each of the teams really quickly that I picked, just a mini reason why I decided to choose them. And yeah, I'll tell you guys how you can vote for those teams at the end of this video. So first off, let's start with the 3 Western Conference teams that I chose, starting off with the good old Winnipeg Jets. Now, the reason I chose the Winnipeg Jets was mainly because they missed the playoffs for the past couple of years. They got pretty close to making the playoffs last year, but once again, they kind of fell off from it. They're still in that mini kind of rebuild stage, but I'm still surprised of the fact that the Jets really did not make any moves in the offseason whatsoever. Nothing really to bolster their team. I mean, they got rid of a couple players, but the Jets really didn't make any big moves or splashes or anything really in free agency, nor did they trade Evander Kane either, and who knows if he might be here to stay or to leave. Who knows? We might be able to make that decision if you guys vote for the Winnipeg Jets. All right, so the second Western Conference team that I chose is the good old Arizona Coyotes. Now, the reason I put the Arizona Coyotes onto this list, mainly the same reason I put the Dallas Stars on the list 2 years ago, because, well, it's a new team. Well, not really a new team, but, you know, they're moving. They got their name changed, new uniforms possibly for the Arizona Coyotes, as well as, you know, they really weren't a team to make many moves in free agency as well. I mean, they got rid of some of their veteran-style players, and, you know, their defense still looks pretty good, and their goaltending looks solid. It's still that offense that they're looking for, that #1 sniper there in Arizona. And who knows, we could bring that there to the Coyotes. And the third Western Conference team that I chose is the Vancouver Canucks. So, once again, guys, you know, Vancouver Canucks could be sort of in a rebuilding stage, which they are. You know, they got their goaltending figured out, and Ryan Miller, it seems, for the time being. But, you know, their defense is still something to question, as well as, you know, if they don't do that well in the year, you know, you could start to see the Sedin twins start making their way out of Vancouver as well. You know, they already got rid of Ryan Kessler, so, you know, they could see the 2 other franchise players of that team be on their way out soon. So those are the 3 Western Conference teams: the Winnipeg Jets, the Arizona Coyotes, and the Vancouver Canucks. 2 Canadian teams out of those guys, and there's going to be more Canadian teams to follow as we move on to the Eastern Conference and start with the Ottawa Senators. So the reason I chose the Ottawa Senators to put on this list, you know, they got rid of their captain, Jason Spezza, who's going to be that person to kind of fill out that role that Jason Spezza filled out. Their forward group is still fairly young. You know, you got a stud defenseman back there in Erik Karlsson. You know, you got a nice little rookie goaltender, Robin Lehner, and they just extended Craig Anderson's contract today as well. So your goaltending looks pretty solid. You got a nice franchise defenseman. Your offense could need a little bit of work there. You got a guy like Alex Chasen on your team now from that trade with Spezza, but you know, the offense on the Ottawa Senators still needs a little bit of work, even with a guy like Bobby Ryan, who knows, who may want to trade out of Ottawa as well, and we could grant him that. So that's one of the Eastern Conference teams, the Ottawa Senators. Next up would be the Carolina Hurricanes, once again, a team that, you know, has been on the outside looking in for the past couple seasons. You know, they've had some question marks in goaltending. Their defense isn't what it really used to be. Their offense is still looking good. You got a lot of good young players like Jeff Skinner, and then you got the 2 Stahl brothers as well. Their offense is still looking pretty solid, but their defense could definitely use a little bit of work, and we might need to solve that goaltending question with Cam Ward in the net for the Carolina Hurricanes. And then finally, the third team that I wanted to bring to you guys is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, a bunch of people were asking for this last year. I didn't deliver it to them. So here's your chance, Toronto fans, to redeem yourselves. Once again, you guys know the deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Good offense. Fairly decent defense, if I would add. I don't know, some of the moves that the Toronto Maple Leafs made in the offseason, you could kind of question that. Their goaltending seems pretty solid with Bernier. Reimer might want out of there, so we could grant him that trade out of Toronto, giving James Reimer on the trade block. And, you guys know the deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Promised to do them last year, but I didn't accept that promise, so you guys can vote for the Toronto Maple Leafs if you want to see them again. And now the bubble team, which the guys on Twitter could vote for. I narrowed it down to the Nashville Predators and the New York Islanders, and the New York Islanders came out on top of the Twitter vote. Now, the Islanders, I think, would be a very interesting team to use. I think out of all the teams on that list I chose, maybe other than the Maple Leafs and maybe... I think just other than the Maple Leafs, I think this could be one of the teams that could make an immediate playoff run from year number one, especially because all the depth that the Islanders added on offense. They got a solid goaltender now in Yaroslav Halak. Their defense still has definitely some questions. It's going to be a young defensive core, but, with their offense and maybe just get a couple veterans there on defense, I could see the Islanders making a push for the playoffs right out of year one. So those are the 7 teams that you guys can vote for. The Winnipeg Jets, the Arizona Coyotes, the Vancouver Canucks, the Ottawa Senators, the Carolina Hurricanes, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the New York Islanders. If you guys want to cast your vote, go down to the comments section down below. Look for my comment with each of those 7 teams. And if you want to see that team be the next NHL 15 GM Mode series, make sure to give that comment a thumbs up. Now, once again, I know you guys can probably reply to those comments with saying, oh, pick this team that I didn't even mention. I don't care. You guys can leave comments if you want. I'm not going to read them at all. All I'm going to be looking at is the thumbs up or the thumbs down on my comments. So, like I said, once NHL 15 drops, the team that has the most thumbs up on that comment section will be the team that I choose for the next GM Mode series. So once again, go down to the comments section below, look for my comments with the team, and make sure to thumbs up that one. I'm pretty sure you guys can vote for all the teams if you want to, but if you just only want to vote for one, hey, that's fine. If you want to vote for 2, hey, that's fine with me. I don't care. You guys can vote as many times as you want. It doesn't bother me. Team with the most thumbs up at the end of the day is the team that I'm going to choose. So, once again, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to cast your vote, and I'll see you guys for the next NHL 15 GM Mode in a couple weeks.